Welcome to the Ignorance is Strength podcast. I'm your host, Fabian motherfucking Ojeda, and I don't know shit, but that's okay. All right, let's get this shit started. Thank you everybody for listening to the Ignorance is Strength podcast. Hope you all enjoyed episode number 71. The return, probably the fourth, fifth, fucking sixth time of Astro Monica, and hopefully she gets that spinoff. You know, be pretty cool to have a spinoff show. I'd feel like fucking Happy Days or something. But we're back with a brand new guest today. Been wanting to have this guy on for a while. Old friend, the man, the myth, legend, bassist extraordinaire, Mr. Juan Sandoval. How you doing?
How is it going, man? Bassist extraordinaire? I don't know if I'd agree with that. I would just say random dude, blast from the past or whatever.
You know what you're doing with fucking with your fingers though.
Yeah, I do stuff with fingers. It happens.
I'm trying to boost you up here, man. Come on. Get you some dates or something afterwards, right?
Hey, we're gonna keep that separate because you know how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Well, like many people, we won't promote the OnlyFans right now. We'll see.
That's strictly on a need to know basis. So.
Yeah, man. But saying I've been wanting to have you on. I actually, because I don't know if you listen to the podcast much at all. But when I started off, I really started with like safe interviews, people that I know locally, fucking family, friends, and everything. And we were in a fucking band together and stuff for a bit, and so and we had a lot of fucking interesting. How do I put it? Liquid directed nights and whatnot.
We had a lot. Yes, a lot of livable moments.
So I'm like, be a perfect opportunity to tell some stupid stories and get some good laughs. But yeah, man, this time around when I had some people flake out, it's good to have people to jump on and tell some stories. So first and foremost, I know a lot of people that are listening probably know you, but I purposely chose not to use a specific nickname that you go by because I've always been uncomfortable by it, and so funny. I didn't introduce you as that nickname. Are you still going by that nickname, sir?
Nah, I mean, not really. Unless you've known me forever, then it's cool, whatever. But we're all grown-ups now, so.
Yeah.
Might still be like 14, 15 or whatever, but it's like, if you know
Are you
me
comfortable sharing that name on there on the podcast?
We'll just move along. We'll just move right along with that.
Good.
But I will say this. I've been listening to a bunch of episodes actually. Usually, especially, in the beginning, you've had a lot of friends, people, and, people that like we kind of grew up with. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. And then every time you've talked about music or whatever, I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I'm listening, and it's like, oh, rest assured, Whitey and Bob. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's see if he brings up, ours, but it's like never. So I'm over here like, this guy.
I was saving it for, if you or any of the other guys jumped on.
I was here just laughing though, because I'm over here like, what are we, chopped liver? I'm like, we're over here just to be funny, or not be funny, but for me, our band, I don't even know if we said the name yet. Have we said the name?
No, but go ahead, give the world. This is what we're gonna do. Sometimes people are dying for the behind the music, the story. We're gonna give people behind the music of something they don't really know they even give a shit about, because they probably don't, but they're gonna get the story of Controlled Chaos.
Controlled Chaos, yes. And that's the funny part. That's what I was saying. Like I even have a Controlled Chaos tattoo. Like that's what that means to me. That whole experience was pretty much life changing for me, if you really think about it. So it's like it meant a whole lot to me. To that moment in time, those years and all that stuff, pretty much shaped the person I am today. So it's like, it's pretty great to have gone through that. So
did I miss that, or you had that for a while, that tattoo?
Couple years, maybe like 5-6 years, probably something like that.
Well, it might have been kind of when we, last hung out way The last time we hung out was probably before that, because I don't remember you having a Controlled Chaos tattoo.
Yeah. Check. Oh, they probably won't be able to see it, but yeah, check it out. It's a freaking mixtape. Old school for all you old school people right there.
Interesting. I guess that was a big deal. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that thing, that whole band pretty much changed my life. And to this day, it still plays a part in the things that I do. So, yeah, it was a good thing.
I don't know if you remember like how and when we started, but I'd always been into music, and I didn't have a fucking, drum set really till, I think around that time when we started playing, maybe, because I think I don't know if we started like a little right out of high school or what, but I've been playing with Rest Assured with Whitey and Bob for a bit, and I think we all had our things that we were doing and we weren't playing as much. And I always knew that, I used to jam a lot with Mr. Jeebus, who hopefully we'll get him on too at some point in this podcast.
If that guy ever comes out of the shadows, man, he's always hiding out, trying to conquer the world one brewery at a time.
Call him out, man. Call him out.
You should call him out right now. Jeebus, calling you out right now, bud.
But yeah, I mean, I knew he'd always been, somebody that I've been jamming with, and he was learning guitar and he was getting, a lot better at it, and he was dedicated to it, and I think I don't remember exactly how we started. I don't know if he started jamming with other people or if it was, something that just kind of was like a hodgepodge of shit just thrown together. But eventually we started a band, right? How do you remember it? Because I kind of just remember just like it just kind of happening, and I don't remember any one specific detail.
So what I remember is myself and Jeebus were just starting to play, right? Well, he had already been playing before, and I was just kind of starting to pick up a bass. Wasn't all that good at it. It was just kind of, all right, I like music, so let's give this a go, I've been going to shows for the longest and always wanted to, play music, but, when it came time to actually picking up an instrument, getting down and dirty, I just hadn't done it until that time. So me and him were just kind of getting together and just trying to write stuff or trying to cover songs, just mess around. And I just remember one day we were in his house and you showed up with a drum set. I'm like, oh shit, Fabian's got a drum set. All right, whatever. And maybe an hour later we wrote a song, I was like, oh shit. Okay, we're on to something here. And then just flash forward, we weren't even together that long, huh? It was maybe maybe 3 year stint or something.
I want to say maybe 2 years. Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah, but it was once we started going, we just kind of the wheels came off and we just went boom, hit the ground running, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I do. It was at Juice's house in Baldwin Park, right?
Yep. His garage right there.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. So I mean, I know, like me personally, I thought maybe back then I was like, I know what I'm doing. I'm a great musician. I'm a good drummer, and I wasn't a very good drummer. I was like, I see other people that are really good, and I never really practiced. And that's the thing. Now that I realize, looking, when you're never told, hey, you're good at something. You're always trying to, you have a chip on your shoulder. You're like, fuck this, I'm the best, and that's always been my thing. And I know you've known that's my thing. I remember you even telling me yeah, I know you when I was a bouncer, you're like, I know you take a lot of pride in that shit. I know you probably want to be the best bouncer there is, and that's true. Everything I did, I wanted to be the best, Music shouldn't be that way. You should always be kind of growing, but I thought I was a pretty good drummer. I look back at it now, I'm like, damn, I was not that good at all.
I will say for that age and us, our skill set probably wasn't all that great, but we gave it all, man. We wrote some pretty cool stuff, but when you think about it, like you said, we pretty much didn't really know how to write songs. If you would have heard our songs, it's one song is 8 different parts and nothing repeats, and it's just cool part after cool part, and then another part, and then another part, and there's no chorus, and then all of a sudden the song's done. So we were just like, dude, what are you guys doing? You know, but it was still fun. It was a great experience. So pretty much learning. That's all that was. It was a dress rehearsal for other stuff, I guess. But
I think too, like that bit of discovery though, that helps out with your creativity. Even if you kind of suck like we did, we were learning. We were fucking. Everybody was learning their instrument basically.
Yeah, we were. I think you were probably the most musically inclined at the time. We were all just like, okay. Here,
yeah.
What does this sound like? All right, cool. Let me. I'm gonna try to do this, and somehow it just worked, and we just all meshed together pretty well. So that's why I think our name even kind of made sense too, because it was like that's exactly what Controlled Chaos was. It was just a bunch of different things tied together that somehow worked. So
yeah. See, because everybody was into different stuff at the time. Like Jeebus was into like ska and stuff like that, and I think I was really into like the more like commercial type stuff like Red Hot Chili Peppers and or some of the like heavier rock like or new metal type shit like Limp Bizkit and Korn and all that. And you were really into punk, Yeah,
well, still am, but definitely.
And we'll get into that, but it was all a different bunch of stuff, and I don't know how we picked up Perez as a member too, right?
Yeah, you know what? I remember a while back ago, me and Saavedra were trying to figure that one out, and the only thing we could come up with is that whenever we would rehearse, Perez would just show up and he'd bring his amp and he'd just be right there making noise while we're trying to write stuff, and just kind of like, hey, I'm hanging out with you guys and check this out. And he's just, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it got to the point where we're like, dude, shut the fuck up or join us. Like, we can't deal with this shit, We're trying to concentrate and you're just doing all kinds of crazy shit, like distracting and shit. But yeah, eventually, I don't even think he just kind of just jumped on board, I don't think anyone asked him to, but he just said, fuck it, I'm showing up. You guys are practicing, I'm showing up. That's how it worked.
Yeah, man, because he didn't know how to play either. I remember we gave it a try, I think, while we were in high school. Myself, Jeebus, Perez was in there, but I don't know if he was playing bass or something. But we had like a very short-lived, even less than Controlled Chaos. I think we had
Droogs, right?
The Droogs.
That's right. I remember the Droogs.
But that was really kind of a shit show because I really didn't have a drum set. I had a marching bass drum, a pedal, a fucking snare drum, and a bunch of pots and pans.
Dude,
so
whatever works. That's especially at that age, it's DIY as fuck, man. Whatever you got, that's what you're using. So, yeah, I remember the Droogs. What was that? What was it? You had like a ska cover of
Hotel California.
Yeah. I remember that shit. It was great.
It wasn't bad, man. Actually, I was like, that was pretty catchy there. I don't even know how the fuck I put that together, but the bass line was kind of fun on that, man. But I remember I recorded a shitty little like homemade CD
I think I heard it on a cassette tape. Like maybe that's how it was. I think maybe one of you guys like dubbed it. And then just like that, because for whatever reason, I have no idea how, but I ended up with a copy of it. I was like, wait, why do I have this? I don't even have a tape player, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, because speaking of bassist, fellow bassist Steven, from
Steven, shout out to Steven B. That guy's the real motherfucker.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's I call him the unofficial town troubadour.
He is definitely.
But he brought that up. He brought up the whole Sounds of Almani little mixtape CD there that we put together using a shitty fucking keyboard drums.
Those are always fun to mess with.
And then just like fucking recording over and over and over again and diluting the sound so bad, but the songs were there, man. I think it was like 30 different fucking songs on there from everybody, from myself and Whitey and Rest Assured, and then I even snuck some of Jeeves' stuff on there that I'm sure he wasn't comfortable with, but I just wanted to put stuff. I wanted to put stuff out there, like this is what we're all about. And I think some of those songs still held up. They were very simple. It was like the whole intro, verse, chorus, and then outro kind of thing.
Yeah.
But again, that's just that whole bit of discovery, But yeah, even Steven brought it up. He goes, man, some of those songs, they just felt like, you recorded a moment kind of thing. And even if it wasn't like polished or anything, you could hear the excitement in it, essentially, and now the Hotel California kind of cover or whatever, that felt cool, so I liked that for sure. But moving on, that we kind of, like I said, me and Jim jam a lot. Perez is kind of in the shuffle again, just in the corner. I don't know what if he ever even turned his amp on or anything like that. But yeah, then we were jamming a lot of Jim's House. Flash forward to that point, which was probably like what, 2004, 2005, something like that.
Yeah, definitely like 04, 05.
Mm-hmm. And even before we had a singer, I think we put together a pretty cool little song called "Save Me."
Yeah, I remember "Save Me." That's got to be up somewhere, dude. It's got lost somewhere in the interweb somewhere. Unless you have a copy of it, that'd be sick.
Oh, I've been searching for it, man, because I had it on an old 8-track recorder thing. But when I moved, I couldn't find that shit. So I had all the parts on there and everything. But also it used to be up on MySpace, but MySpace deleted all the music that was on there. Yeah, so I was like looking for it. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get a copy of this somehow, because I mean, not that we can't recreate it even better at this point if we wanted to.
I'm sure we could pull off a nice version of it, like a modern version of it. Yeah,
because it wasn't that complicated, believe me.
Nah, not at all. It was pretty. Even the lyrics, thinking about it now, it's like the lyrics were kind of like vague and like just about nothing really, but you could relate it to anything. So it was just like, all right, whatever.
But it was cool. We just kind of threw it together in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think you put together a lot of the lyrics, and it was like, I'm like, fuck, that sounds good, man. Let me kind of like, throw like a little melody behind it, like, and we cranked it out, man. But that was our little hit right there. Had we ever gone and done anything bigger in the music world, that was kind of our little window of opportunity there.
That would have been our TRL video right there.
Yeah. But then we put together a lot of little songs like that. I mean, nothing was as catchy or as simple as that one, but together a bunch of little songs, and we were looking for a singer, right? And somehow we ended up a bunch of 19-year-old fucking 20-year-old kids with a 30-year-old singer.
You know what? I don't think he was quite 30, but he might have been like 27 or something. But yeah, close enough when you're that young. I mean,
he was going out with high school girls anyway. So
that was frowned upon, definitely. But yeah, it was weird how that ended up being that way. But shit,
who the fuck like found that guy, man? Because I'm like, oh yeah, it was kind of weird because he's like, he was noticeably older than all of us and shit, I mean, I got along with the guy, I think he was, okay, but like how the fuck did we get that guy in there? Like, who was he hanging out with, or did he express a want to be in the band or what?
Nah, I think he was friends with Saavedra. He would kind of hang out, and then we ended up. Yeah, I think he just came aboard for the same reason. We were just trying to find a singer, and none of us really wanted to sing. And actually, none of us could sing except for you. But it's like,
can't pull double duty.
Yeah, back then. So he just kind of jumped on board, and Controlled Chaos was born back then. Mm-hmm. That for sure. That had been like 04, I think.
Dang.
Yeah. Crazy shit, man. It's crazy how that kind of worked out.
Yeah, because I remember seeing him like at parties and stuff. I'm like, what this fucking old motherfucker. And all of a sudden he started singing for us. You know, he was really into like the whole emo screamo scene and stuff like that, right?
Thing. Yeah.
And I mean, I think he probably needed to practice a bit more too, because he would. I remember we would be practicing songs and he'd be fucking belting it out, screaming and shit. And after a little scream, he'd almost pass out.
Yeah, I remember those days. Actually, do you remember the time when he wanted to do it? He wanted to practice a song blind. That's a funny story for these people. Do you remember that part or that time or no?
The song "Blind" by Korn?
No. He wanted to do like his whole quote was like, "Hey, I want to go blind. Turn the lights off."
Oh, the Jim Morrison thing?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So pretty much for those people out there listening, they're probably wondering, like, are these guys really just gonna chit chat like this the whole time? So what happened was we were writing this new song, right? And he had just written some lyrics real quick, and we'd gone over the song maybe 2 or 3 times, and then he just goes like, "Hey man, let's turn off all the lights. I want to do this song blind. Like I don't want to read it. I don't want to see the lyrics." And we all just start laughing like, "Bro, put the fucking paper down. What the fuck?"
That's what I'm saying, man. I think he was borderline retarded. Like, he definitely had some sort of social impediment, you know? I'm like, I mean, and I'll tell you why. Look, and I'm not shy about saying this. I don't know if anybody still hangs out with him or whatnot, but the guy was a retard, man. Like, I just got to say, you know, like, I hate to be, you know, judgy of somebody's life, but I mean, you know, again, you're about to be 30, hanging out with a bunch of kids that were coming out of high school, some of which who were still in high school, right? And years, you know, I'll just kind of fast forward to years later, man. You know, after the band and everything, just to kind of give you a reference, I think it was like 10 years later or something like that, and I was doing like a you know, just a little weekend gig. It wasn't even my regular gig or anything. It was just like a favor for somebody. I was working at that bar in Almani, that short-lived bar in Almani that was there in the Valley Mall.
Oh, dude, that thing turned over like 3 or 4 times within a few months. Yeah, they tried to make it into a venue for a while, right? It was a venue for maybe like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah,
and then it became something else, and then something else, and eventually it just tore it down.
Ignacio's. It's called Ignacio's.
Yeah, Ignacio's.
Yeah, and I was working a weekend there. I guess they didn't have. I don't know if their security turned over or whatnot. But my friend was a bartender. She's like, "Hey, can you do security for us?" I'm like, I'm not really doing that anymore. But like, she goes, "Oh, just a weekend. We'll pay you X amount." I'm like, "Hey, I'll do that." Right.
Yeah, cool.
But anyway, you know, this is 10 years later from when we had our band, essentially, and you know, Mr. 30-year-old from our band days, somehow he shows up at that bar. I'm like, this guy's got to be almost 40 now.
Yeah, you know, probably 40 now. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? He's still partying with like with youngsters and shit, and acting dumb, you know. And he sees me and he recognizes me. Like, what's up? And I'm like, you know, I'll be cordial. I'm like, I never had anything like personal where like I hate you. I mean, I'm calling him a retard and a fucking dumbass and all that because it's true, you know. But I never hated the guy, you know. And so I was cordial, very cordial, and you see him start getting drunker and drunker and drunker, and he's really getting annoying. I'm like, hey man, just like slow down, you know. You're fuck. I'm like, you're almost fucking
9
40.
p.m., bro. It's 9 p.m. Chill.
Right, to the point where, you know, it's closing time, and he's, you know, getting into arguments and shit, and I'm clearing out the bar because the fucking owner of that place was irresponsible, trying to serve past 2 a.m., you know. And as soon as I turn around back to the front door, I see this motherfucker, our former lead singer there, getting beat up by a 20-something-year-old, you know, like face planted, man. He got knocked the fuck out. I'm like, this fucking idiot. And I go and save him, right? and get these kids out of there. I mean, but I know it was his fault, you know. So I go and save him, you know, it's we had a conversation as soon as our old lead singer got there, and he was talking about like, oh yeah, you got my back, you got my back. And as soon as I pick him up off the floor, his face is all fucked up, bloody, looking like Rocky Dennis from the movie Mask, right? And he goes, "What the fuck, Fabian? I thought you had my back." So that's the type of person we were dealing with, you know, kind of just never Peter Pan syndrome, never grow up type of person.
It kind of reminds me of the time you dropped your drum set on him after a show too.
Yeah, we were doing. I think I remember we were doing that at a little makeshift venue, right? But it got pretty big on MySpace.
Yeah, it was in it was like a weird, like a plumbing shop or like a tire shop out there somewhere like in East LA.
Yeah, they called it the Shop in East LA.
Is that okay? Yeah.
But yeah, it was like some emo girl that just fucking started advertising space on MySpace, because that shit was huge, man. MySpace was like the destination of all fucking destinations online, man.
Back in the fall of 2004, yeah. Definitely.
It was way better than like Facebook, Twitter, and all that shit, man. I'll tell you that, because we got gigs. You know, I was able to get a few jobs on there. You know, but yeah, that we had that little opportunity to play at that makeshift little venue they had, and he was just acting stupid, man, the whole time with our performance. You know, what was he like, slinging beer and getting every.
That was the part that got me kind of like upset, because we started and the people they were digging us. You know, they were up in the front and everyone was kind of having a good time. Maybe like 3 songs in, he cracks open a beer and he's just like soaking everyone within freaking 5 feet of him, getting beer all over our amps and stuff. We're like, dude, what the fuck? And of course, the whole crowd fucking dispersed. Everyone went from being up in the front to like, nah, we're hanging out way in the back. And you know, the vibe just kind of went to shit after that. And we're like, man, what the hell? Yeah. So I remember that was a buzzkill right there. And flash forward to like, once we're done, we're breaking down. And you know how that goes. As soon as you're done playing your set, you break down and you get the fuck off the stage, because the next band's about to go up. So I just remember you stacking up your drum set and him kind of sitting down off to the side, looking all, you know, down and defeated, because kind of he realized he fucked up. I'll let you take over from there.
Well, I saw this motherfucker lying down, right? And he's literally on his back, right? I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And you know, he didn't have anything in his hands, and it's like,
yeah, we're like, help move shit. Let's go.
Yeah. And I think I had because I used to stack it, like I had the the floor tom, and then I would stack all the other toms on top, right? Mm-hmm. And I know my memory is a little hazy here, but I think you reminded me several times beforehand that I intentionally dropped the drum on this motherfucker.
Yeah. But you made it seem like an accident, though, so that was pretty clever. I seen it. I saw it from far away. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, bro, we got to get our stuff off the stage. The next guys are up, you know. You're the singer, and you're like, you know, usually the prima donna. Like, all right, I'm done. It's like, nah, man, you got to help us out. We got to get all this stuff out. And he was laying there, and the next thing I know, I see you walking towards him, and next thing you know, there's like some toms and stuff falling right on his head. That's fucking great.
That's what you get, man.
He was just like, what the fuck? It was great.
But, see, that's the funny thing is like, dude, I'm like 10 years your junior, man, and you're not gonna shit about it. You know? Like, I didn't give a damn, you know. That was probably the prime of my badassery right there. I'm like, I was like fucking college wrestling ready right there, you know. I'm like, nowadays I'm probably just like,
you're like, my back, I'm good.
My back, my fucking everything, man. Everything hurts.
Welcome to your mid-30s, bro.
Oh, it was, I know. I'm experiencing it. I feel like I'm fucking mid-70s at this point.
one of those. It's roll the dice. What's gonna hurt today? We get out of bed.
No,
It's the elbow. Oh, it's the shoulder. Yeah.
You want to know the worst, and it's kind of stupid and silly. The little things like your fucking toe. Like
Yeah.
What is that? You have a fucking toe cramp and it ruins the rest of your day.
That's the fucking worst.
Yeah, but I was, again, I didn't dislike the guy, but I know I knew how to throw my weight around and not give a fuck, man. But yeah, we had a little bit of success. We were playing a lot of local shows. I think people were really kind of digging it, man. I mean, I don't know if I'm delusional there, but I think with the little bit of songs that we had, I mean, we had like a good set of 6 songs, which is what you need for playing shows,
Pretty much. I was good like 25 minutes, and then we added like the cover or 2, and then all right, there you go. There's your 35-minute set. You're good.
Yeah, and I think we were pretty decent given all the, the factors there where we're just learning how to play our instruments, and we had a man child who would pass out from screaming when he tried to sing. But at some point, man, we're gonna play the whiskey, right?
Yeah.
And we had a little sit down with our little fucking prima donna singer there.
We did. I don't remember that one too well.
Where we were gonna kick him out of the band because he didn't practice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. And that was, you know what? That was another thing that we did that was kind of like, now you think about it, that it was weird and it was like cyclical. Like we fell into the same loop where like we wouldn't have any shows or anything lined up, so we wouldn't even talk. We wouldn't hang out, nothing for a good month or 2. We just, everyone's off doing their own thing, and then all of a sudden we get hit up for us. Some Fulano guy will hit us up like, "Hey, are you guys down to play this day, whatever?" And we're like, "Shit, we haven't practiced in like 2 months." Like, all right, let's go. All hands on deck. And then we're practicing 6-7 days a week for like 3-4 hours straight. And we get to the point where we just can't stand each other anymore. So as soon as we finish playing the gig, we're like, we need a break from each other. That's pretty much what we did constantly. So it was like, fuck.
See, and here's what I've noticed about times like those, right? Well, first off, before I get there, I want to say, I remember right before we played the whiskey, and we considered it like a big show because it's like, it's a Hollywood venue, and you got to kind of up your game there. But we had a conversation with the singer, like, "Hey, dude, like, you don't show up and practice, man. That's it. We're gonna fucking replace you or something." And it was really kind of like we were having like an intervention, almost like Scared Straight. Again, it's funny because like we're all younger and. It's because like, oh shit, like,
it's like the kids are telling the adults, quote unquote, like, "Hey, get your shit together or dip."
Yeah, but you pointed out something that, you kind of start to like fade away, do your own thing and whatnot. And I think that's the point where a lot of young bands either make it or don't, because we all had fucking work lives too, and school and all that stuff, so everybody's trying to do their own thing for themselves, which you should be doing that in your early 20s.
Those are the years when you got to go hard, man. Whatever you're gonna do, just fucking bang it out. Just
right. And like myself, I was working nights, so it's not ideal for somebody who wants to do music to work nights. You were working shitload of overtime doing everything.
You know what? I was working nights back then too, actually. Yeah. That was when I would leave from practice straight to work. And then, we'd do it again the next day. And then, because I remember that. I'd even have to like take time off to play shows, It's crazy. Yeah.
And so that's the thing there. The bands that make it, they sacrifice all that. And, I don't know about you, but I couldn't be without money, man. It's like, once you get a taste of it as a fucking poor kid growing up in Almani and you finally get some, you're like, I'm not letting that shit go.
Yeah.
And the more you make, the more you're tied into it. And I hate that you have to sacrifice passion and fun and, things that you want to do just to fucking pay bills,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's a common theme I've found with people who want to chase their dreams, but they have to live life, but some people do it, man. And then you get older and sometimes you find a way to balance everything. And so, transitioning from that band, I don't even know how we we never even officially said, all right, we're done. We ended it. We just kind of stopped playing, right?
Yeah, we stopped hanging out and playing, and then there would probably been 5-6 months after. We're like, hey, are we still a band? Fuck, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Like, I still got equipment, Yeah, but and then you guys, I don't know how many years later, but flash forward, you guys kind of restarted the band, right? And it was like a new thing, and pretty much minus me and minus the lead singer, you had kind of like the same the same group with new members, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Do you even remember before we started the new group, like us, we tried to look for another singer too, and we tried out a couple guys. We had shit. We probably went through like 4 guys. I don't know if you remember.
Shit, no, I don't remember that.
There was the trippiest one is some guy that came down from like Bakersfield, and we were practicing in your backyard. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I just remember that guy because I'm thinking like, wait, you came from Bakersfield? Like, bro, yeah, I'm not sure. I think we might have oversold what we're trying to do here.
We put up a Craigslist ad, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like looking for a new singer?
Yeah. Fucking Craigslist, man. Craigslist is the Craigslist giveth and the Craigslist taketh, bro. Shit.
That I did not remember that, so he brought it up, but that's true. We got some fucking asshole from Bakersfield to come audition for our band, and oh man, that's funny.
I was just tripping out. Like, he's like, yeah, man, I'll come to every practice. I won't miss a show or anything. I'm like, dude, that's like a 2.5 hour drive one way just to practice. Like, yeah.
He really wanted in, huh?
Yeah. Should have given him a shot, bro. We fucked up. Like, we went from zero dedication to like complete dedication, and we're like, man, we're good.
It was probably just a turn off both ways, right? Like,
we needed something right in the middle.
That's what we were comfortable with. But yeah, eventually you guys kind of reformed the band with new members, right? And what was the name of that band? You had like
that was Throughout the Fall. Yeah. Throughout the Fall. And that had a couple different lineups as well. So
yeah, you were doing like you started doing more like your like punk on the side, right?
A little bit later, actually. Just I was like doing other stuff, but yeah, Throughout the Fall was more. It was more like a, what can I call it? Like more like post-hardcore, kind of like thricey, like that kind of stuff. It was like kind of poppy, a little heavy, it had a little edge to it, but it wasn't hardcore, it wasn't metal, it wasn't punk, it wasn't thrash, but it was like a little bit of all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. It was a good time.
Yeah, you guys picked up a great drummer, fucking Martin, like right? He was in the band or no?
Actually, Martin came on the second turn of that, actually.
Before the second,
some other guy. Remember, shout out to if you ever listen to this channel. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, he had a lot of energy, man, when he was drumming.
Yeah, he was a good dude. Yeah, it was him, and that was when we had him and our buddy Isaac. Remember Isaac Dueñas was singing for us.
Yeah.
And that was a cool thing too. That was a good. We had a solid couple of years, and I remember seeing you at a couple of shows too, being like, "Hey, fucking Fabian's here!" Fuck yeah,
yeah, man. I was like, even if I wasn't gonna have the time to be a part of it, I at least wanted to, pop in and check it out, man, because it's always it's cool to see,
Yeah, I remember being like kind of like not drunk, like stupid drunk, but just buzzed and be like, "Fabian, let's do Save Me, come on!" Like,
I would have done it.
I was like, dude, Jeebus, look, here are the parts. Look, it's, these are the parts real quick. Let's just do it. He's like, no, we got to practice it. I'm like, oh, come on.
I'm going to get it. It wasn't that complicated, man. It
Yeah,
was
seriously, two parts, literally like two parts.
It's just most of the songs just
Yeah,
yeah.
the little bass fill right there. Yeah.
But yeah, those are cool days too, man. But then you guys stopped doing that too, right?
Yeah. What happened? I think we just kind of hit a wall, like writing wise, and just people just started kind of doing different things, and that's the same thing that happens with a lot of bands where it's like yeah, you guys got you get comfortable, you write enough songs, and you're playing shows, and it's cool, there's a good turnout and everything, but after a while it gets like kind of mundane. It's just kind of like the same thing over and over and over. Where it's like our set was the same set every single time, maybe add or subtract a song or two, but like our songs were like the first song, second song, third song, fourth, you know what I mean? So after a while it gets kind of like, all right, we've been doing this for a while, and it's kind of the same thing over and over, so let's either change it up or just just go do something else. But yeah, eventually everyone just we all went our own ways for a couple of years, and just me and Jeebus, actually. Jeebus plays a big kind of role in my musical trajectory now that I think about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let me ask you this: if he hadn't kind of like started jamming with you, right, then you really kind of never would have like jumped into music, really, right? I mean, maybe you would have, but that's kind of where it all started.
I think I probably would have just been one of those, like, at home, pick up a guitar, mess around with something kind of thing. But yeah, I'd say so. Like both of us kind of, helping each other out or just kind of feeding off of each other is what kind of helped us get better and just do all kinds of different shit. So yeah. Now that I think about it, because and throughout the fall, broke up the first time. it was just him and I, because Perez went off on his own thing. He didn't even want to play anymore. He was done. He's like, I'm done. I'm retired. I don't want to play music anymore. I was just like, okay, I guess. Which was weird,
Well, I mean, he was called his nickname was Wrong Note Perez, so whatever.
Yeah. We bashed on that guy a lot, actually. Now that you think about it, Wrong Note Perez, the rhythmless rhythm guitar player. Yeah, that guy, poor guy. But yeah, so then.
No, I haven't heard from him either in forever.
He's doing all right. He's into like accounting or something, so he's doing good. I spoke to him. When did I last see him? Actually, 4th of July. I saw him 4th of July. He's doing all right. So yeah, good for him. Fucker, he still looks the same. He hasn't changed since he was fucking 15 years old.
Well, one day he'll just kind of spring up and turn into his dad. Watch,
right, dude. His dad is awesome, by the way. His dad is cool as fuck.
Yeah. I remember that guy for sure. Yeah, that was good times back then.
That was back when we would practice in his little laundry room that he had. Remember that? That
dilapidated shed? Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Well, the inside, we were inside the house at first, remember?
Yeah, in the back room, yeah.
Yeah, so we were there, and then his dad would just show up from work and just pop his head in and be like, hey, yo, hola muchachos, ¿cómo están? And we'd be like, hey, what's up? Just smile and wave, and he's like, all right, do your thing, whatever. We're over here just making all this noise, and he's just like, whatever. I'm not tripping.
That was fucking cool, man. Not a lot of parents would put up with that.
Because that room was so fucking loud. I probably lost half my hearing in there, dude. At that time, those ears were fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
because of course, to this day, you don't wear any earplugs because why would you? But it's crazy. Shit.
But yeah, so you're transitioning out of these bands, right? What happened next, man? Because look, I find it fascinating. You played with bands that did like emo, screamo, hardcore, because you were always punk, man. Like even just kind of trying to like reel you in sometimes, because you would come up with a new bass part and it'd be like, it'd be like, whoa, hold on, slow it down, curve it this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I know you really, you know, you're always into like the punk scene, and it's like, it was interesting that you adapted to those types of genres, because you know where your heart was, man, and you know, I hadn't really seen you play that type of music, but you finally got into it, right?
Yeah. Well, definitely. I've always kind of been into it and have always wanted to just dive into it and play that style, that kind of music. But for me, it was more like just playing with my friends, and that's what it was. It was like, hey, I'm hanging out with my buddies and we're making music. Like, it might not be exactly what I would want like right now to do, but this is still fun because we're hanging out, we're bullshitting, you know, having a couple of drinks or whatever, and just having fun. So that's what it was about for sure. So that's what kind of kept me right there too. But even then, you know, it kind of grew on me a little bit. We're like, hey, okay, this isn't that bad. You know, I can get by this. So that's how that worked out. But it was great though. I mean, I still think our songs are pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this shit sucks. But
yeah. But so you're in a brand new band now. You guys got shit on Spotify. You know, you're fucking playing shows all the time. To me, look, when I see that shit on Instagram, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, because you're kind of still keeping that passion alive, man. And you know, that's what it's all about, man. You know, like I said, it sucks to kind of have to put aside what you love to do, what you have fun doing, just to live. But you found a balance that works for you, right? Because you're doing this now, and it seems like it's pretty consistent. On my end, that's what I see, you know, and it might not be my cup of tea musically, you know, but again, I'm glad to see you having fun doing it, man. I think you know, that's an admirable thing, because I was telling another musician, a guy that's a career musician, you know, I'm like, fuck, I used to watch those guys in the cover bands when I was a bouncer at the bars and be like, what the fuck are they doing? You know, they're like 50 years old, 60 years old, or 40, you know, late 40s. And they're over here playing for fucking peanuts at a bar, right? I'm like, the dream's over, dude, move on. You know, but now that I think about it and I'm a little older, I'm like, fuck, man, this is fun though. You know, like.
Exactly. For me right now, that's kind of what it is. Like, this is just a pure, just out of passion and fun, you know? And I mean, you do have to sacrifice kind of a lot. You kind of end up, at times, you kind of burning the candle on both ends, you know? Because shit, I'm just, you know, I'm a regular grown up, you know, I'm just a working class guy. You know, I got a warehouse job. I drive a forklift for a living, you know, that's what I do. But I kind of make time for music too. And it's hard to do sometimes because, sheesh. Yeah. Sometimes you'll play like a weekday show. You're like in LA, you know, you're playing like at midnight. You have to be up at 4 a.m. for work the next day. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. You still have to play your set, break down, load up, get home, put your gear away, take a shower, go to bed, wake up 45 minutes later to work a full day. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
But it's worth it though. I mean, if it's worth it to you, you'll find a way, you know? But.
So tell everybody the name of your band, you know, and just a little bit about it. Like, what, you know, I know it's like punk, but if there's any other kind of subgenre or whatever that it would fall under.
I would just say it's hardcore punk. We're called Malditas Drogas, which is Spanish for loosely goddamn drugs. So, yeah, based out of Orange County. Most of the guys are out there, so shout out to all of them. I've been with the band since like 2016 or 17. I can't even remember. So it's been a couple years now, and it's been fun, man. It's been fun. Like, music in general is always fun, you know, always. It always has been. And then if I find it weird how, like, the older I get, it still doesn't change. I'm still like the same 19-year-old kid playing music, you know. Maybe a little more seasoned now though, with experience, you know, because you would hope that would happen over time, but yeah, dude, it's still so much fun, and I still get that same kick out of just playing a show. You know, sometimes you get up there and it's like there's like 4 or 5 people in the bar. You're just like, crap, whatever. This is gonna suck. 2 or 3 songs in, everyone's into it, and you're into it, and then it doesn't matter how many people are in there. It's fun. And then you have those shows where, you know, a packed room and everyone's into it, and it's so much fun, and you're just, you know, you feed off of them, they feed off of you, and it's fucking great, man. You drive home with a fucking high or something.
Yeah.
So,
Do you guys play in English or Spanish or both? Because the Spanish name,
both.
right?
Yeah, we have Spanish songs and English songs. So yeah, so if you're ever in the area, we usually play like mainly like Orange County, LA County, and Inland Empire here and there. So
That's a pretty fucking big field
yeah,
there, man.
yeah, we're not scared to venture into anywhere within reason, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, man, it's a fun thing. I've been doing. We've got supposedly we're supposed to have an EP out pretty soon. It's already recorded, mastered, but I'm not sure what the delay is. But it should be out pretty soon, so that should be fun. And right behind that, we've got a whole nother new album that we still have to record. It's already written. It's good to go. So it's been some busy times, but it's been great. It's been fucking great.
Yeah. See, who would have thought back then when we were recording on little shitty fucking tape recorders and
tape deck.
That you'd be talking about putting out EPs and albums and shit and being on Spotify and all that,
We even knew what Spotify was back then too. Shit.
Yeah, nobody saw that one coming. Yeah.
I figured the dream would have been to be able to buy a copy of your own album or CD, like at Ritmo Latino at the Valley Mall or something.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the dream right there.
Yeah, exactly. Now neither really exists because the Valley Mall is becoming, Main Street or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't been out in that area in so long, and I was out there maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and it's completely changed. I was like, whoa.
Dude, they have a vegan restaurant.
It's awesome.
I mean, if that doesn't say fucking gentrification, I don't know what does.
Gentrified as fuck, man. Even that area where the Edwards Theater used to be at, like, oof. That whole place is just.
Hey, I'll tell you what, the Jack in the Box is still there. That's about the only thing.
That's the only thing that survived, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
No more fucking Asian guy fucking selling bootleg video games out of the.
What was the name of that place? It was like it wasn't Shortstop.
Something baseball or cards, right?
Yeah.
Like All-Star.
God damn it.
It was something like that, All-Star or something like that. No. Major League, no. But he called it like a baseball card store.
Yeah. That's where you would buy all your bootleg like Nintendo 64 games or Super Nintendo, old school.
The chip PlayStations that would play any game from Europe and Japan and shit.
Yeah. All the lettering is all in like German or Russian or God knows what the fuck.
Yeah, those were the days, man.
Right next to I remember the arcade that was next door too.
Yeah, I would fucking play fucking WrestleFest over there, man.
WrestleFest. Yeah. That is wild, man.
But things that's how it goes, man. Things just fucking change up, But I remember on Instagram you reached out like, hey, share a memory, and that's cool, nostalgic stuff. I'll tell you one thing that apparently hasn't changed up is you guys and your family and the whole Tito sandwiches, man.
Oh hell yeah, that's a staple, bro. That is a staple,
That was my memory. I was like the fucking Tito sandwiches every time you guys had a party, man.
You're like, snap! The Sandoval's are partying. You know what that means? It was on deck.
Because nobody gets those Tito sandwiches anymore.
They're still around. We had my nephew had a little birthday party for my nephew a couple months ago. You can't even call it a party. It was just us family because the whole grown up bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
But it was just us, and they had we got like a small thing, and still brought back memories. Like, that's how we do it.
Yeah, and if I had any other memories, man, it'd be like you were kind of like the chauffeur for everybody. You got that big ass Armada, right?
Yeah. I got rid of it a couple, like 2 years ago. It was time to let it go. But man, I had such a good run with that thing. Yeah. Even before that, remember I had that Explorer, and I would just have all the gear in there, everyone's gear, and then they were just like, let's go, hop on. We'd have like 10, 15 people in a Ford Explorer. With plenty of room. Because we're Mexican. That's how that works.
Yeah, but cool, man. I think a lot of nostalgia there, a lot of trips down memory lane. Like I said, this is kind of like the old format of how I used to do the podcast. Catch up with people from around. In
Mhm.
even if nobody asked for, like I said, this behind the music, they got it right. They
Yeah,
got
they got the
some.
dirt too. Oh shit.
Hey, I talked a lot of shit, man.
Poor guy out there, wherever he's at. I hope he's good.
I hope he's good too, man. But hey, some things you just got to be blunt about. At least I do.
You gotta tell it like it is. Yeah, I hear you.
I'm like, I would say the same thing to his face, and it's not in a bad way. I'd be like, hey, that's what you are.
You're a trip, but yeah, nah, I respect that. I respect that for sure.
Uh, I mean, I hope he's still not getting beat up by 21-year-olds at the bar. That's all I'm saying.
You would hope, maybe now the 35-year-olds let them get a crack.
I hope he's learned not to hold his breath when singing, and that he can belt one out one more time. Maybe we'll do that little Controlled Chaos reunion, and just play Save Me because that's the only song people know how to remember.
That's probably the only thing I remember. At least remember what it sounded like. Anyways, I was trying to think, but it's like, nah, Save Me is the only thing that comes to mind. It's crazy.
So we got a lot, like I said, a lot of behind the music there. A lot of nostalgia stuff. Anything else you want to throw out there for the podcast? I mean, you've listened to a few episodes, man. I know, you know the kind of audience that listens, right? So anything else you want to throw out there?
I would just say, I was gonna say something stupid. I'm not gonna say it. Let's just go ahead.
Hey, I can edit, man.
Nah, let's go. Nah, you know what? I'll just say this. Just times are kind of tough right now, so let's be good to each other and let's support each other. You know what I mean? Especially like small businesses. Like if you're gonna spend money doing something, Target doesn't need your money. Walmart doesn't need your money. Freaking Boncho's liquor store. Go ahead, give that guy your money. He needs it more. So let's just do that. Let's just support each other and let's be good to each other. Bam.
It's a good message right there, man.
Yeah, man.
That I'm gonna go support Tito sandwiches now.
There we go. I might have to join you. Shit,
dude. How much are those party subs, man? Because I might just fucking get one for myself.
You know what? They've got the 6 foot, and I know they've got the 3 foot. So I couldn't tell you. Last time I got one of those, I think it was like $60. Maybe.
That's it.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh man, yeah. Dude, I'm in trouble.
You're like, shit, that's a lot of sandwich.
I'm in trouble. I love those, man, with little fucking jalapenos chopped up.
Yeah, that's the spot right there.
Yeah. So, did you have like an Instagram for your band or anything you want to put out there?
Yeah. Our Instagram is Malditas Drogas 714. So if you guys are listening, you might want to check it out, or if you're curious, just see what's going on with that. Go, give us a like, a follow. We've got stuff on streaming on Spotify, Apple Music. Just look up Malditas Drogas. Our Facebook is Malditas Drogas. My whatchamacallit is JP Sandoval 72. If you want to just say what's up, just be like, hey, you want some more cheese, man? Hit me up, or you want to shoot the shit, I'll shoot the shit with you. Cool.
Yeah, man. You were like the party guy of Almani for a bit.
Good times. I think I was just friendly. People were like, that guy's friendly. Cool. We like friends.
Not it's true, man. I think I don't know one person that'll have anything bad to say about you.
That's cool.
You're like, jeez. I know a couple.
Yeah, we'll just keep that to ourselves.
All right, cool, man. Well, shit. Anytime you want to catch up, I would welcome a little band reunion on the podcast if we could ever get one.
Great. That would be great. You know what? I'm gonna try to get at least either Perez or Saavedra. Saavedra will probably be the easier one to get, but we'll see what's up. I'll reach out
because he's got stories, I'm sure too, that we probably forgot. You know
what? I just remembered. I know we're just closing, but I just remembered the Quinceañera show.
Yeah. Hey, we're professional musicians, right?
All right, so we're gonna leave you with a good one. So I have no idea. Oh, for those of you that aren't from aren't of Hispanic heritage and you don't know what a quinceañera is, it's basically a sweet 16, but like in Mexico, you do it when they turn 15, and it's like this huge ass party, and it's supposed to symbolize a girl becoming a woman, which at 15 is a scary thought nowadays, but traditions, whatever. What are you gonna do? But I'm not sure if it was you or somebody.
It was my mom's coworker. It was her party. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fabian's mom's coworker, her daughter was having a quinceañera, and somehow we got booked to play her quinceañera party. And they had never heard us. They didn't know what we sounded like. They just knew that we were a band, like a rock band, quote unquote. And the girl was into kind of rock music, quote unquote. So we got booked, and none of us knew what we were getting into, right? We're thinking, oh, it's just probably like some little small birthday party. We're going to walk in and it's going to be like, everyone's hanging out, whatever. I'm walking in there with my app, and I just remember seeing like all these fancy decorations everywhere, and like everyone's grandma and grandpa, and everyone's in their cowboy boots and hats and everything. And I'm just like, oh my God, these people have no fucking idea what the fuck they're going to do right now. Yeah. And the DJ's playing right as we're setting up, and it's, just typical Hispanic, like Bronco or like just something cool shit, that, he's playing, and I'm over here thinking like, man, just keep playing. Fuck, you don't need to hear us. Like, just keep playing. Let's just party, whatever. But the kids were excited, so we're like, fuck it, we're doing it for the kids, We're over here being like 18 and 19, and a bunch of these kids right here. We're over here thinking we're cool. Like, yeah, check this out.
Hey, we were, man. Go ahead.
We start playing, and as soon as we start playing, like you could see like the older people, like usually the older Hispanics in the background, who's just like looking at us like stone face and just shaking their heads, and just like you could see them like utter like, what the fuck is this? And I'm over here like, oh shit. Like, yeah, this was kind of like a nicer party than we were thinking. But we're like, fuck it, dude, we're here. Just put on a show. The kids liked us, so that was cool,
Yeah.
They're over here like, oh, you guys are so cool. I think someone asked for an autograph, and I was just like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were cool to them. I mean, shit.
Yeah. I was laughing like, bro, I can't even do that out of principle. Like, that's fucking weird. But yeah, that show, we ended up getting paid for that show too. That was the funny part. It was like, how did we get paid for this? We totally ruined this little girl's birthday party. Like, it was like a nice, festive, joyous occasion, and here we come, fucking yelling at everyone, yelling at Fulano and Pancho and everyone. It's fucking crazy,
dude. Because there was so much screaming and distortion and loud, fast music.
Loud, fast, just guitars and everything. 2 minutes before that, they were playing La Chona, so it was just a total mood kill, but we got paid and it worked. So
I think each of us got like $75, except we didn't give any
like that. Yeah,
we didn't give any. We didn't give any to the singer.
And we all kept his cut. Yeah, that's right. We did do that. That was the day we became professional musicians, bro.
Now we can say that for sure.
We were paid musicians.
I'm putting that on my resume, man.
Damn.
But that's a good memory to leave off on there, man. I completely had forgotten about that.
It just popped in my mind right now too. I was just like, what the fuck? I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I appreciate having you on, man. I think it was a lot of fun in my, in my head, man, just reliving some of that shit.
Definitely.
But for everybody listening at home, appreciate it. Thank you. Fuck you and good night.
Subscribe to the Ignorance is Strength podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Like, follow, and share on Facebook and Instagram at Ignorance is Strength Podcast and on Twitter at The Ignorance Pod.